Well, my name is Devrin Lindsay. I was born in Baltimore, Maryland, here in the city of Baltimore. I grew up off of Emerson Aruna, 2510 Aruna Avenue was my address, and I'm a product of family. My grandmother was named Lulu Mae House, and she taught us the appreciation of family and culture and community. And out of that, I developed to go to the community of middle school. Calvin Middle School was my middle school, and then I went to Frederick Douglass High School as a high school where I graduated in 2001. After Frederick Douglass, I operated as an itinerant minister in Baltimore, Maryland, and then moved on to college where I gained a sociology and religion degree at Morehouse College in Atlanta, Georgia. After leaving there, I served as a youth pastor in Chicago, and then as an assistant pastor at a church called Giant Steps Church of Chicago, which bears the name of the Giant Steps Church here in Baltimore. And so I have extensive history in ministry, and that's a little bit about myself. I'm a Kappa, I'm a Morehouse man, I'm a Baltimore lawyer. I'm just a man of God.
I've been in church a lot throughout my life. I grew up in church. Now my mother's a minister herself. Why another church?
And that's a great question. I appreciate that. I get it all the time. People ask me why another church, and precisely for the reason that church in this culture, in this day and age, is kind of lost its fiber. And one of my goals is to restore the integrity of the church. I believe the church is still the primary social agent for change in the world. I believe that nothing else in the world can produce change like church, not government, not community, maybe family, but the church, many families work out of the church, and many of the churches work out of families. And so I believe the church is the necessary condition for change in our culture. But also because what the church produced in me, the church helped me to merge the world of the spirit with the world of ideas. That when I grew up in church, you didn't have to sacrifice the life of the mind for the world of the spirit, or the world of the spirit for the life of the mind. This is what I mean by that. You go to some churches and it's very, very charismatic, very, very celebratory, right? But when the preacher or people get up, they don't know what they're talking about. It's like there is no fervor to it. You don't know where they're going. It doesn't make sense, and you can't follow them intellectually. Then you go to some churches, you can follow them intellectually, and it makes total sense, right? But there's no spirit. Well, what happens when you merge the world of the spirit also with the academic pursuit? So I'm going to start a church that focuses on intellectual fervor also with spiritual. I'm starting a church because I believe that the church can create change in the world. And I think I'm called to be able to produce that change, especially in the city of Baltimore. All the reason I want to start a church is because there has been this disinterest in the church and what the church values and means. And I want to restore some of the integrity. My focus is being able to use the gospel to minister and empower people so that they can live the best life that they can live. That's fine.
Okay, so with you saying that, what or who inspired you?
So I have many influences. I think the first person influencing my mother. My mother was a single parent who grew up and took God seriously. She took family seriously. And my grandmother helped to foster that. So family kind of influenced me when it comes to the idea of church. I grew up in the Solid Rock Rural Baptist Church, 7 East North Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland, 21219. It was at Solid Rock Rural Baptist Church that I learned to love God and to love people and to prove that love of God. And so Solid Rock influenced me. Then, as I matriculated in my academic journey, some great intellectuals influenced me. My heroes are Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, James Baldwin. James Baldwin is like my intellectual hero. I read a book, and Baldwin says in that book so pointedly, if the concept of God is to mean anything, that concept is to make us freer, larger, and better. And if God can't make us freer, larger, and better, then it's time that we get rid of him. And it was very, very interesting. It shocked me, right, because I never heard anybody critique God. But what Baldwin was trying to say in that instance is that God is supposed to affect society, and society is not supposed to manipulate or attempt to try to craft who God is. And I would be remiss if I didn't say that Bishop Oscar Brown from First Mile Church, who serves as my spiritual father, he influenced me. I have great influence. Brian Miller, Tanika Tiana, Loretta Lee. I mean, even my peers, David Magruder, Anthony Miller. Lots of people influence me because I think what it means to be a part of community is to be influenced by great people.
So, big question.
Yeah.
What is about to be so different and so amazing about Giant Steps Church?
Giant Steps Church will be different for several reasons. One is that we attempt to remove some of the traditional barriers that hinder for people from connecting to God. You can come to Giant Steps not outwardly dressed appropriately or what we consider appropriateness. I don't care what you wear on the outside. I'm concerned more about what's going on the inside. And there are many people who are dressed with Farragon bows and Tom Ford suits on the outside or messed up on the inside. And then there are people who don't have the material trappings on the outside. They have purpose and destiny and dreams on the inside. So what makes Giant Steps different is that we're not as concerned with the outward appearances. I'm truly concerned about the inward man. The other part about Giant Steps Church is that we attempt to merge the sacred and the secular. Meaning, I want you to be yourself when you come to John Steps Church. I want you to wear what you wear to the club, or wear what you wear to the world. And I want God to be able to change you, and not the words of man just to change you. And so, what makes us different is that we attempt to be authentically human and authentically godly.
So what is your vision or mission for your church?
The vision of John Steps is multifaceted. And I'll start with the elongated version, and I'll give you the simple piece. John Steps Church exists to engage people in the ministry and the mission of Christ, to encourage individuals in life's most difficult and rewarding moments, and to empower young people to reach their purpose. We are an ever-evolving body of believers with a passion for the possible, a commitment to the creative, and a hunger for healing. In many ways, we attempt to do three things: love God, love people, and prove it. And I want you to help me to be a part of proving the love of God in the greater Baltimore community.
Who are your target people?
Our target groups are you. We want to target everybody, and more particular, we want to target young people from the ages of 20 to 40 who were born from 1977 to 1994. But ultimately, the church is supposed to target everybody. In a world full of bad news, the church is the only place with good news. And so we want to spread that good news of Christ to everybody. But in particular, we want to focus on young millennials, young professionals, young people like you who come to the brunch, young people like you who've been disengaged by church, who feel like church doesn't speak to the veins or the existence of who you are. It is my goal and my calling to speak to everybody, but particularly to speak to you. Because I believe that the next 5 to 10 years of your life are going to be important, and you're going to need somebody to help coach you through those. I want to be your coach, and John Steps wants to be your team. Remember, wherever you are, it doesn't matter where you come from. It only matters where you're going. You're my target.
How can people help?
Well, in several ways. There are three things. One, you can help in prayer. I believe that prayer is the most important part, the essential part of the Christian arsenal. And that if you're going to be a Christian, prayer is important to who we are. So people always can pray for our vision, pray for me as a pastor, pray for my family, pray for the goal, pray for what we're trying to do in Baltimore. The other part that is equally important is prayer, is giving. I'm asking people who are part of our core team and our launch team to give $25 to $50 a month, whatever God has blessed you with, until our launch. So we're going to be launching the end of July, beginning of August. So from now in July, if people who want to connect to the vision give $25 a month or $50 a month, or in the range, that would be greatly appreciated. The third thing that people can help do, which is very, very important, and is equal as the other two, is connect people to the vision. And so I need as many people as possible to put the word out about John Steps. I know that you do hair and you're a fashion person, and so if in your beauty parlor or somebody in their barbershop or somebody at their agency can say, hey, it's a hot new church that's starting that seeks to minister to the needs of 20 to 40-year-olds, you should go be a part of it, you should go check it out. Those things can help. So giving, word of mouth, prayer, spreading the word, all those things can help. And most of all, like, even if you don't have anything to give, come, be a part, join. And let me be able to teach you how to be able to minister to a community of people, to be able to help them to take giant steps in their life. So those are things.
Well, it's my pleasure sitting with you today.
I was honored being with you.
Thanks for taking the time.
Like that.